Former President Donald Trump's recent remarks on Taiwan have stirred significant concern within the semiconductor industry, raising fears of potential economic fallout. In an interview with Bloomberg Businessweek, Trump suggested that Taiwan should compensate the U.S. for its defense, drawing a controversial comparison to an insurance policy. Trump's stance, if acted upon, could disrupt the critical supply chain of semiconductors, a sector where Taiwan holds a dominant position. With Taiwan producing a vast majority of the world's advanced semiconductors, any disruption could have a catastrophic impact on the U.S. economy. Trump's comments highlight the fragile balance of international relations and economic dependencies, especially between the U.S. and Taiwan. His rhetoric, reminiscent of past demands for allied nations to pay more for defense, now targets Taiwan's semiconductor industry, a cornerstone of modern technology. As global tensions with China escalate, the question arises, how will the U.S. navigate its economic and security interests in the face of such provocative statements? Trump's stance on Taiwan, a potential economic crisis in the making. In a recent Bloomberg Businessweek interview, former President Donald Trump made waves by directly addressing the delicate U.S.-Taiwan relationship. Trump's assertion that Taiwan should financially compensate the U.S. for its defense has introduced a new layer of uncertainty in an already tense geopolitical landscape. Comparing the U.S. to an insurance company, Trump argued that Taiwan has benefited enormously from the U.S. defense umbrella without providing anything in return. They did take about 100% of our chip business. I think Taiwan should pay us for defense. You know, we're no different than an insurance company. Taiwan doesn't give us anything, Trump said, emphasizing the significant distance between the U.S. and Taiwan while underscoring Taiwan's proximity to China, just 68 miles away. China views Taiwan as a breakaway province and has long sought to bring it under Beijing's control. However, Taiwan continues to assert its right to self-rule, maintaining a delicate status quo that the international community, particularly the U.S., has supported. Trump's stance threatens to disrupt this balance, potentially leading to a conflict that could have dire consequences for the global economy. Taiwan's semiconductor industry is crucial, with the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC, at its helm. TSMC manufactures over 60% of the world's semiconductors and about 92% of the most advanced chips. These semiconductors are integral to a wide range of products, from smartphones and electric vehicles to household appliances and industrial equipment. A study authorized by the U.S. State Department highlighted the potential global economic fallout if Taiwan's chip production were interrupted by a Chinese blockade, estimating annual losses at roughly $2.50 trillion. The semiconductor supply chain's disruption would have long-lasting reverberations, impacting industries worldwide. Trump's rhetoric is not new. He has previously demanded that NATO allies increase their defense spending and infamously promised that Mexico would pay for a border wall, a promise that went unfulfilled. His latest comments on Taiwan follow a similar pattern, raising questions about the feasibility and implications of such demands. Adding complexity to the issue is Trump's new vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance. Vance, a senator from Ohio, has expressed views that diverge from Trump's in some respects. While he has been critical of U.S. support for Ukraine in its conflict with Russia, Vance has also identified China as a significant threat, suggesting that the U.S. should reserve its military resources for a potential conflict over Taiwan. The Biden administration has already taken steps to bolster U.S. semiconductor manufacturing through the CHIPS and Science Act, which was signed into law in 2022. This legislation earmarked $39 billion for manufacturing incentives to revitalize the U.S. semiconductor industry and reduce dependency on foreign suppliers. President Biden has emphasized the importance of this initiative in strengthening supply chain resilience and maintaining competitiveness against China. Furthermore, the Biden administration is considering stringent trade restrictions to prevent China from accessing advanced chip-making tools, aiming to curtail China's ability to produce leading-edge semiconductors. These measures reflect the broader strategic effort to secure critical technologies and mitigate risks associated with geopolitical tensions. Despite these efforts, the U.S. still faces a challenging road ahead. The Semiconductor Industry Association's recent report indicates that America's share of global chip manufacturing is projected to rise to 14% by 2032, up from the current 10%. This increase reflects a gradual shift in manufacturing capabilities back to the U.S. after decades of offshoring. However, this progress could be jeopardized by renewed tensions and potential conflicts involving Taiwan. Trump's comments have already had immediate repercussions, with global chip stocks experiencing notable declines. Companies like Nvidia, TSMC, and Qualcomm saw their stock prices fall in the wake of Trump's interview, highlighting the market's sensitivity to geopolitical developments. As the U.S. navigates this complex landscape, the stakes are incredibly high. The semiconductor industry is not just a cornerstone of modern technology, but a critical component of national security and economic stability. The question now is how the U.S. can effectively balance its strategic interests in Taiwan with the broader goal of maintaining global economic stability. Will the U.S. be able to navigate these turbulent waters without triggering a crisis that could ripple through the global economy? How should policymakers respond to the dual pressures of defending Taiwan and securing America's technological future? Share your thoughts on this pressing issue.